Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets.
How about it? How about it? How about it? How about it?
So we're going to talk Broncos first. It's already been proclaimed. The Broncos have won 4 in a row. They're now an even 5-5 on the season. And they're fighting for a wild card spot in the AFC.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Do you want to just get into it there? AFC playoff talk? Because the Broncos have won 4 in a row. They've crept back in. And they're fighting with the Steelers, the Bills. The Colts are there record-wise at 5-5. I'm willing to just throw the Colts out of that mix. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I don't think the Colts are going to be there at the end.
Plus cutting Shaq Leonard today. You see that?
Yeah.
Kind of big move.
That was weird. What's up with that? Where does he go and why did that happen?
Well, because his injuries have left him like shriveled. And he doesn't look the same. He was great when his name was Darius Leonard.
That's the truth.
And ever since he changed his name, it hasn't been the same.
So is he like healthy to play? Like, will he be good when
no team's really going to want him? I don't think it's worth talking about.
All right,
but so the Broncos are going to fight for that 7 seed with the Bills and the Steelers is what is kind of where I see it. And I would lean Bills. I'd say the Bills make a run. I know their schedule's tough.
They beat them.
You would have the head-to-head tiebreaker against the Bills from the win. What was that? The Monday night before last?
In Buffalo.
Yeah. So when we break down the 3 wild card teams right now, if I look at the AFC playoff picture, is Browns, Texans, Steelers. I do not think the Steelers make it. I just think they're more lucky than good up to this point. So I don't like the Steelers to make it. I could see the Texans dropping out of there. I know CJ Stroud's great, but I could see the Texans, dropping a number of games that they don't have a great team. CJ Stroud can be what he is. I don't think they have a great team. I could see the Broncos and the Bills replacing the Steelers and the Texans. And then we would have the 3 wild card teams in the AFC: Browns, Bills, Broncos. That's what I feel like those are the best 2 teams behind the Browns.
Yeah, I think the Broncos are better than all those teams. I mean, I think we have the quarterback. It took a little bit to figure it out. It took getting embarrassed on national television, the whole league, almost history. Almost history. We don't fire anyone. Sean Payton comes in, could have told, get rid of Judy, get rid of all these guys I didn't draft. I want to redo this shit. He came in and showed what a head coach fucking does when you actually have confidence and why you took a job, right?
Yeah, and all they really did was cut Randy Gregory, right?
But dude, that made all the difference in the world because it opened up opportunities for Benito and guys like that, Cooper, to like be that guy. Like, they didn't allow him to be on the field. Like, don't even be around, man. You're a loser. Like, no offense, we'll pay you. Get fucking lost, dude. Like,
get out.
Sean Payton knew that locker room, man. He knows. He can talk to the coaches and get what's up, dude. He knows how to coach a team. The Saints, even when they weren't great, they were always annoying. Like, you could know it as a Bucs fan, man. You're going to get a tough game when you play them, right? Like,
oh, for sure. I mean, Sean Payton's a really good coach. He's smart, and he knows what team he has. He knows he's not going to score 30 points a game to win the game. He's going to play. He's going to get his defense to play tough defense, not make mistakes, and they're going to keep it close and try to win games late. Yeah, and they've been winning games late. I mean,
they're comfortable with it now.
The last 2 games, right? Cortland Sutton caught a touchdown with like less than 2 minutes to go, and that won them the game.
And I was saying during the game on Sunday, we were watching it, and Brad was on the mic with me, and I'm like, dude, this reminds me of one of those old Seattle games, man. This is a Russ game. Russ never went out in a shootout and put up 45 to beat Mahomes 40. No. Russ would linger around annoyingly enough and then make some shovel passes like he's done, but not do too much, man. Instead of going for the shot, he's checking down to running backs. P. Ryan's been huge for the Broncos lately. When it comes down to
late in games,
they're going to him, man. Like his experience is showing up, which is showing why they signed him. And it's a cool thing that, again, it's a shout out to Peyton.
I give all the credit to Sean Payton. I really do. Because
he could have blown it up at 1-5.
The way I've watched the Broncos the last few weeks, Sean Payton doesn't put the game in Russell's hands until the last drive or two. Right. And then he's like, all right, now we need it. I didn't want you to ruin it before we needed it, but now we need it. And here's your time. Go get it. And it's worked.
Whatever works
has been amazing. Maybe the best defense in football for the last 4 weeks. They have been
statistically wise. You could argue that
we have had more turnovers, I think, than any team. We've beat the Bills. I know the Packers aren't great, but they just beat the Chargers.
Right.
We've beat some really good football teams, man. We've built confidence in that. And I think Sean Payton, even if we don't make the playoffs, this stretch alone has been something that it's man, as a Broncos fan, we could build on it.
I've seen enough that I'm convinced they'll be in that mix up until the last week or two of the season. I don't think I look at the playoffs. I don't think they're going to fall off the map.
When's the last fucking time they were 500 on my birthday?
When's the last time they made the playoffs? Have they made the playoffs since Peyton Manning left?
No,
I don't think they have.
Last year.
No, not last year. You didn't. Have they made this playoffs since Peyton?
That year. No,
since Peyton Manning.
I don't know.
No, but we want to Super Bowl.
But I don't recall them being in the playoffs. Yeah,
we haven't. You want to bring it up again? Fucking have to say it 15 goddamn times. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Hey,
okay.
Listen,
well, there's hope. There's hope. The Bucks. The Bucks look.
Where's the hope going?
The Bucks look about as average as every other team looks in the NFC. There's so many. I'll break the bad news right now. There's going to be 3 shitty teams that make the playoffs in the NFC because you got the Eagles, the Lions, the Niners, and the Cowboys. There's 4 good teams. Those are the only 4 really that I can call good teams that are in the NFC. Because after that, you got the Saints, the Seahawks, and the Vikings. I don't have any faith in the Saints, the Seahawks, or the Vikings. And then you have the teams below them that could possibly make the playoffs. And you get to your Buccaneers, Falcons, Rams, Packers. The Commanders are even in the hunt.
Put the Buccaneers above the Rams on that list right there. Are you?
The Falcons are ahead of the Buccaneers.
Are you out of your damn mind?
Well, they're in the NFC South, so they definitely have 2 routes to the playoffs, Jimmy. They don't only have. They could win the division at 8 and 9. I think the winner of the NFC South is going to be 8 and 9.
Got to be proud.
Probably.
Hey,
probably.
Dude, a few weeks ago, though, I was telling you, man. Remember when you were all pumped about the Bucks, and I told you the fall's going to be worse because you're in that spot now.
All I said was we're going to make the playoffs.
You might win, but you won't. We just won 5 in a row, and we didn't trade or 4 in a row. We haven't traded anybody. Our team's on the rise, and you are in Baker Maker.
Yeah,
Mayfield.
But here's what I said even before the season: the Broncos just have so many tougher teams to fight through. The Buccaneers need to fight through the Saints and the Falcons.
Are the Chargers?
We don't need to. The Chargers, I think, are as good as the Broncos.
We got the Browns.
Do I trust them as much as the Broncos? No. And it comes down to the head coach.
We got the Browns. We got the Texans too. I mean,
both of those games, the Broncos could lose.
But I mean, any game you could lose, right? Yeah, I mean, look at the Bucks. They played the Texans. How'd that go?
Just look at the way
we scored 38 points and we lost to them.
Yeah, I know, but we're not the Bucks, dude. Our defense is top tier. They just took a minute. They had to take a little break.
I'm not ready to call them top tier. Not ready to call the Broncos defense top tier.
What's your opinion on Russ right now then? Is he
even against that Vikings game, it's not like Russ looked great.
He made plays when he had to.
He
Like,
made
he always
he
did.
had a
He
good
seems like
drive
good.
when they needed it.
With
I
the
think-
Seahawks, he was always the guy that made plays when he had to. He was never the guy that would just go out and light the game up. You were never like, we got a game plan for Russ. No, it was Marshawn. Like, you wouldn't think
The connection
Russ is
he
gonna-
and Sutton have is definitely grown. It's noticed. I mean, the sideline catches, this is starting to happen a lot more often. And we saw this in years past with Cortland. He's just so fucking big.
That dude is.
I really think if Judy could step up, I'm starting to think Steve Smith is right, though. I mean, Judy, if he's got to open that middle of that field a little bit for him.
Listen,
And I think Dulcich comes back, though, so that'll be another weapon for him.
I think we're trending.
What's
in the
going
right
to change for Tampa, though, do you think, Matt, to, like, improve? Like, what's the path to winning more games?
Honestly, we play worse teams. We can't beat the good teams. We can't beat the Niners. We couldn't beat the Bills. We couldn't beat the Eagles. But then our next like 4 games, it's Colts, Panthers, Falcons, Packers. We don't have another like tough game. Our
Packers
toughest game left on the schedule is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Other than that, it's all
like
divisional
the Colts
games.
and the Panthers are exactly teams that it's a coin flip with you guys, right?
I mean, even the Panthers, I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers
like Indy. I know you
got
wrote
one of
them
their
off, like earlier,
wins against
we
the
were
Bucks. I don't know, dude.
I think Gardner Minshew, they seem to be a better team with him.
I mean, no better than the Bucks are with Baker.
They're not a
I don't
threat,
think,
but
I
think they're as good as the Steelers potentially.
And then, I mean, the main reason I'm still holding out hope for the Bucks is the Saints and the Falcons have looked just as bad. Like, I just don't. It's such a fucking terrible division. It's a shame that one of those teams is going to host a home playoff game. But the Saints and the Falcons have shown me nothing to prove to me that they're going to be any better to close the season than the Bucks are. The Bucks, I mean, the offense looked good against the Niners. I know when you look at the 14 points, we didn't amount to much in the long run, but we were putting together like 60-yard drives routinely. We just get in the red zone, turn the ball over, fumble the ball, throw a pick in the end zone, turn the ball over on downs. No, but I'm saying, like,
we don't turn the ball over.
We move the ball over.
Doing.
We're off the Broncos now, Jimmy.
No, we're not, man. Hey,
we're off the Broncos
team now, baby.
We're talking NFC
football. Hear it like the Bucks were being heard because our team is actually trending in the right.
But when the Bucks were winning the Super Bowl, we weren't comparing them to the Broncos.
Anytime we wanted.
Dude, we weren't comparing them to the Broncos.
Because I rooted for them and they had Tom Brady, dog. That's it.
This is my complaint is we don't have to compare everything the Bucks are doing to what the Broncos are. They're in different conferences. We're not going to play each other.
I'm just saying, when my team is competitive, we're going to talk about them like we talk about the Bucks when they're fucking 5-5. So I'm talking about, and I'll bring them up in comparison because we have a bet going on for this Broncos and Bucks record thing, right?
Yeah,
on the podcast we did it. So viewers want to know this. We get asked about it a lot.
But if we're comparing this to last year, the Bucks were 4-5 last year. They won the NFC South.
You guys are like,
I don't see
this year, right?
the team is no different this year than we were last year.
There is one big difference,
dude. I've been happier with Baker this year than I was with Brady last year.
How many fourth quarter comebacks did he have though last year? I agree. Tom was not excellent.
No, but he had a lot of.
But in close games, he led you down some drives. Now Baker's been better than expected. If Derek Carr is healthy, when they get Taysom Hill, I think New Orleans has a much higher ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't know. New Orleans has been so unimpressive.
Atlanta's not bad either, I don't think.
That defense is tough.
Good,
yeah. Well, we always think the Saints defense is tough, but like this year, I just haven't fucking seen
the Falcons. We were saying Atlanta's defense.
Yeah.
We were talking.
I've been more impressed by Atlanta's defense than I have been by New Orleans.
That's what we were saying.
Weird to think
about. I think Mike Evans is going to get banged up. I don't know, man. I love it. It's beautiful.
It's the lack of run game that I don't understand. There's
all I'm saying.
Did a podcast when the Broncos won a primetime game and the Chiefs lost one back-to-back nights.
Let's just get to that. Let's get to that Chiefs Eagles game.
We haven't done it though. I can't remember.
Let's get off these garbage teams and talk about the good teams and talk about Chiefs Eagles because last night, the Eagles get a late score.
What about teams that beat those good?
We're done with the Broncos. Okay.
Nah,
Chiefs, Eagles.
we're gonna end, baby.
Eagles win 21-17.
Yep.
Eagles get a late score. And this is really the big point I want to bring up. I mean, Patrick Mahomes just has nobody. That's the obvious thing. But when you look at the Chiefs over the course of this season, they are the worst scoring offense in the second half of games. So it's almost like teams are able to figure them out, and then the Chiefs just got nothing. And when you watch the games, you see what they got. They have Kelsey, who I don't even like Kelsey as much this year. Jimmy, me and you drafted Kelsey in the first
Taylor
round.
Swift factor.
Well, I don't even want to talk about Taylor Swift. But Jimmy, I drafted Travis Kelsey in the first round of a fantasy draft this year. You did as well. I can promise you 100% in the first round of a fantasy draft next year, I will not be taking Travis Kelsey.
Well, he's older now, yeah.
Even if it's the last pick in the first round, I've seen enough to know that he's a little bit over the hill. I just don't.
League, though, it's a different, like.
But this year, it hasn't lived up to what
he's not
would
looking
really
like the
think.
I wouldn't trade him for any tight end in the league
point.
this year. I really wouldn't. The way he's going to get targeted and like the way I get that he's had down weeks, but tight ends have down weeks. You're not going to get a fucking 12 from him in a standard league.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking
but
about.
this year he's almost like more drawn back to
he hasn't been
the other
best
options.
one.
He's just not playing as much either.
Like last night, dude, he had a shit game and he has a touchdown.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, caught that 2-yard touchdown.
One of the best quarterbacks in the
pass
league.
to
It's
save
hard
you.
to like give up that tight end. You're not going to do that. So for me, I get what you're saying, but I wouldn't draft him in the first round. But
you even heard
Yeah.
Mahomes talk about on that deep pass to
Scantling.
that he dropped. He's going, they had Travis triple teamed, so I went to
He gets triple
Scantling.
exactly, dude.
And Mahomes handled it well. He's like, I overthrew the ball a little bit. It's like, he didn't overthrow the ball.
No, he didn't overthrow the ball. He didn't overthrow the ball.
It's right here.
Dude.
But back to my point of the Chiefs being literally the worst scoring offense in second halves of games this year. I mean, you can see why. They have no weapons. I mean, you have Scantling, Justin Watson, Sky Moore, who for a second round pick has been a complete bust. And that's kind of the end of the list. You don't even see people get on the field beyond those three.
Yeah.
And
Hardman
McCole Hardman caught a fucking screen pass last night. I mean, we've seen enough from McCole Hardman that we know he's not a threat. But they've made mistakes with their investments at wide receiver, and they're going to pay for it. I just don't know how you
get receivers, man, and they let Tyreek go. If they had Tyreek Hill right now, can you imagine how good that offense would be? Dude, if they would have worked,
you probably are better off though, right? Keeping Tyreek.
Dude, I'll take $10 million less.
Well, keep Tyreek and let like the Chris Jones of the world.
No.
Walk.
See, without that defense, they need that. But if you,
I think they have enough to fill it out on defense without Chris Jones. That defense really impresses me.
If you went to Patrick and you went to Kelsey,
a lot of that comes from the Tyreek Hill trade, though, too.
But if you went
that draft
all the draft picks, like the Trent McDuffies, and you're right.
If you went to those guys now and we're like, hey, man, seeing what Tyreek's doing, like, dude, if we could all take like $5 million less, let him get a good one, we can have this going for 10 years. And they could. Yeah.
Like, and Tyreek came out and said he wanted to stay. His agent was almost like bluffing by trying to get other offers. But Kansas City didn't want to spend the money.
It, dude. And it's like,
God, you knew somebody would.
You knew somebody will. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Maybe one of the best coordinators in the league. Yeah.
But when you're the Chiefs GM and you bank on something like that, you bank on some of those draft picks you collected for Tyreek and the investments you make on those draft picks paying off. And when you draft a Sky Moore in the second round, and Sky Moore literally is invisible.
Rasheed Rice
is like,
right?
a second or third rounder, and he's a rookie. Maybe he
Look at
gets a
Andy
little bit
Reid's
better,
history.
but still, he's not doing enough.
Watson is another, second, third round.
Ex-Buccaneer, Justin Watson won the Super Bowl with us. Yeah, Justin Watson.
Tyreek, but then you look at Andy Reid. You don't go to the Eagles or you don't go to the Chiefs and be like, man, the receivers that Andy Reid picked are dope.
Yeah,
we've never thought that. Like,
yeah. And
James Thrash,
outside of Tyreek, they've always missed. Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson and Tyreek are like.
I mean, that's a big game the Chiefs had last night, and just seeing how terrible the receiving core is, I'd be shocked if Mahomes is able to win the Super Bowl with that this year. I know they have a great defense. I'd just be shocked if they can pull together, 2-3 playoff wins and then the Super Bowl.
Play the game to play into a great defense. He kind of throws it around too much, tries to do too much. Like if you're telling Brady knew with the Patriots, man, if I'm just smart, it's a different
ball, and Andy Reid could do that for him. Andy Reid could try to figure that out. More. I think it's almost just such a difficult path. Like get McKinnon out there more. I like McKinnon. Yeah, he's probably better than any of their wide receivers, really.
Yeah.
But
I just
get him out there a little bit more.
Of that. He's
the run game
to play.
Right. Sorry, I see what you're saying. No, that you always want to, if you're a great player like Mahomes is, you want to get more than you could. You don't want the 5 yards, you want the 18 yards. And
you're what if?
And they're clearly
with the team they got, they don't really have a whole lot of people that can get you 18 yards.
And he's got that Tyreek thing in his mind, and he puts the ball in the spots.
Well, and they're not reading it like he wants. Right. You know what I mean? He's looking for deep, and they're cutting something off.
They're moving.
Yeah.
But last night, even at the end of the game, the fourth down, he hits the guy right in the hands. It was right. It would have been a first down. And he drops it at 84. And it's just
there was 2 drops on the last drive where Mahomes, you really can't say he did anything wrong. But they don't got the guys there to make the plays.
I actually thought he played I hate to say it, but he played fucking good. I was like, damn, he got fucked because the catch in the end zone and that fourth down play.
And then the Travis Kelce red zone fumble. Huge play. Because that would have put him up by at the very least.
How many turnovers?
If he drops that ball instead of fumbling it, instead of catching and fumbling it, then they at least kick the field goal and go up by 7 instead of being up by 3. At least
show you the magic.
It's a different game if you don't fumble that ball in the red zone. You're giving away points. And
I guaranteed 3 with Butker.
Yeah, Butker's a solid kicker.
Gotta shake it off.
Solid. What else we got? I mean, Brad, your Ravens are holding strong.
The Ravens are the number 1 seed in the AFC.
You almost forget about it with it being Thursday. Baby. That was a tough game, though, to lose Andrews on our side
number
and
1
Burrow for Cincinnati.
And has it come back yet that Andrews is done for the season? I just haven't seen it.
They floated that he could be back, but again, he broke his leg. So it's going to be a little bit. But that division, it looked really tough, and then you lose 2 starting quarterbacks out of it. And then Kenny Pickett.
Should be a cakewalk to win the North at this point, right?
The defenses are tough. It's just not as deep of a team as, I guess, a division as you thought it was maybe 2 weeks ago.
But at this point, the Browns are their biggest threat, and the Browns are now playing with fucking what's his name?
DRT.
Yeah.
A bunch of losers.
A bunch of fucking losers from Cleveland.
Thompson Robinson or whatever. Yeah.
D'Anthony Thompson Robinson. I don't know his full name.
They got Flacco.
They got him on the practice squad.
Do we need to throw in some Thanksgiving food talk here?
Let's do it right now, dude. We have Thanksgiving in a couple of days. Okay.
I'm kind of hungry right now. Sounds good.
You got to have Thanksgiving.
We've already done the draft last week.
You gotta have Thanksgiving.
Hey, Moses, you gotta have Thanksgiving. You gotta have the turkey. You gotta have.
Well, no, but you gotta have the turkey. You gotta have the mashed potatoes. You gotta have the stuffing. And is there any other beyond those 3 staples? Do we need anything else?
Green bean casserole,
stuffing,
gotta be in there.
Mashed potatoes. I like a good green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole
some bad green bean
and
casserole.
Mac and cheese would be the 2.
Yeah. For me, I
And
gotta
for
have
Christmas. For
I
me.
gotta have cranberry sauce on my
No!
plate. I need the
You
cranberry
like
sauce.
the can?
I like the can,
or-
the jelly
Okay,
can,
My
yeah.
where
grandma
it comes
loved
out
it,
looking
dude.
like an earthworm.
Every year
That's-
my dad
it
gets
still
the
tastes the
can
same.
and just
I
puts it
get
in
it
the
though. It's
kitchen
kind
for
of
my
it's-
grandma.
It needs a little sweet.
Like,
You know, there's so much
Yeah.
like rich.
comes.
There's so
stuff
much
on the
savory,
plate.
salty shit.
Yeah.
I
I
need that sweet, bitter cranberry sauce
get it. I
to balance
do
out
get
my
it.
palate.
I understand
You
the
know?
flavor profile there.
So when you guys load up the plate, now is it gravy all over? That's for me.
I do gravy on the turkey, the stuffing, and the taters.
Pretty much
I'm the
yeah.
same way.
I do gravy on
Kinda-
all those
And
three.
it's all, and then you take the biscuits and dip them in all the mashed.
I actually pass on the biscuits. I don't want to fill up on biscuits. There's
Yeah.
better shit to eat.
I
The
get one as a
potatoes are gonna-
pusher.
Yeah.
One as a
Potatoes and the
pusher.
stuffing aren't going to fill you up.
Yeah.
But the biscuits.
Well, no, but the biscuits will.
And the mac and cheese. And, oh yeah.
God damn it.
I got the beer to replace the bread of the biscuits. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
starches,
but you gotta
the
do
carbohydrates.
the biscuits.
You gotta
into
walk
the
that line and
mashed
not get
taters
too
and
many in.
gravy, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's biscuits and gravy, but like at for dinner, it's fucking fire.
I kind of
Yeah.
do. I wonder, everybody goes turkey sandwich after, like later on in the night.
I've heard that. I've
or the
never-
next
you not-
day.
Could I just, would it be bad just pull out 2 pieces of white bread and some mayo and just take
I'd
right at
do
the
it.
turkey dinner?
I hate it
I
like
love
that.
the sandwich more than just on the plate.
Yeah, like right at the dinner, the opening
Yeah.
turkey.
Yeah. Can I get some
Yeah.
cold turkey? I prefer
Yeah.
it that way.
You got a couple slices of bread. Yeah.
Putting it on the fridge, letting it get cold.
The turkey
See, that's what
sandwiches
I
are
always
good the
do. I
days
don't like
after.
to
are
eat
good.
right away. And my family originally, we'd all have to sit at a table. And
Yeah.
I hate that I have to go to the table and leave the football game. Is
Yeah.
always my big complaint.
yeah,
I want to eat it. Let's all eat on the couch and watch the
we
game.
have it on for a
I
reason.
agree with that. I
We
agree
have
with
to
you
that.
know?
keep up ratings. If we don't watch an American football, rating could go down, and then we don't get to watch it anymore.
Yep.
So we got
I
to
don't-
contribute to.
I don't-
Exactly right.
I don't need the sparkling apple cider. I can
You ever
settle for
watch-
the
Oh,
Miller
no.
Lite. I've been drinking for the last
What about
few hours.
dessert wise? Is there anything that like you gotta have?
Pumpkin pie. God,
Pumpkin
You go
pie
pumpkin? I go
with a
pecan.
close second's pecan pie. Like them both. I'll eat either of them.
Matt's getting both. He's like, yeah,
I-
just take both.
I would like some vanilla ice cream to pair with either of them as I'm eating
Yeah,
the pecan
I
or
agree.
the pumpkin pie. I
don't
go-
know what the fuck
I go vanilla ice cream over the standard whipped cream. I like vanilla
yeah.
ice cream with my pumpkin pie. Okay.
I like it.
Just eat the fucking pumpkin pie. I don't know why you need
Yeah.
this.
What else do you do with your family? Because I got to go drive 5 hours to visit my dad, and I might stay there Friday with my dad too. What else do you do the day after Thanksgiving? Like go see a movie with your family? Just
Yeah.
sit at
That's a
their
good
house,
Yeah.
you
A
know?
movie would probably be an
There's
easy
that-
one.
There's this Napoleon movie. You guys seen the previews? They've been
Yeah.
spamming for this.
Joaquin
Hey,
Phoenix.
actually, I was
Yeah.
gonna
Joaquin
be,
It looks
Phoenix.
good. It looks good.
Yeah.
In Entourage is a good line where one of the directors is this crazy Russian guy, and he's talking about Vince, and he hates Vince. He didn't want him to be in the show, so he says, "I would take Joaquin Phoenix, Ashton Kutcher," and because he didn't want Vince at all. And so he
Just
goes
going
from
down the
Joaquin
list
Phoenix to
quickly.
Ashton Kutcher,
Yeah.
and then that's when he has to step in and be like, "All right, jerk off,"
Yeah.
But it's like he goes Ashton Kutcher, Joaquin Phoenix, the way he says that name. But no, dude, I don't know. That day you just play video games and make fun of your nerdy cousin. That's what I used to have to do.
Yeah.
I hate
See, I don't have my family
birthday
like
is
stopped
Thursday.
having kids
I
after
can
my
tell 'em
generation. So there's no like younger people around to like fuck with. You know, like if I had
Yeah.
like nephews or shit that were around, I could be like, oh, let's
Go to
I brought the
Topgolf.
I brought the
Go to
Nintendo
Topgolf.
64.
Oh, they don't have a top golf.
They don't have a top golf where my dad lives. Come on. They have a fucking they have a
Driving
bowling
range.
alley. They have a bowling alley
There
that's
you
like
go. Bowling.
struggles to stay in business. They won't be open. I don't think
Support
so.
the business.
Black Friday.
I don't
They might
think
be.
so.
Yeah, a
There's
lot.
so many
lot of
families
places are
looking to
closed.
do what you're trying to do. Leave in the comments what you guys do on Black
Yeah,
Friday.
what do you do with
Yeah.
your family on Thanksgiving weekend after the meal? You know,
That's a
because
good
you got the
question.
football.
Yeah, like the next
You know.
day. Yeah.
You go
Yeah, I
see
don't really,
mini golf. It's a little bit cold in Missouri for a
Cold,
good
man.
mini
Ooh.
golf.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
that
I'm not
they have
looking
the
to go
global-
outside right now.
The thermal warming is going on, and everything.
You know,
with the The lasers.
So we need some thermal heating.
And
we have a meteor coming in.
But you know what? And sorry to cut you off, Jimmy, but I tried to set this up, I think 2 years ago, and it failed. But this is something that I'd like to set up in the next year or two. I tried to Facebook message everybody that we went to high school with and set up a flag football game. And I said I'd get all the cones, I'd get all the yard markers, I'd get the cones, I'd buy the flags, but I just needed enough people to field a game at the Common Grounds in Westbrook, Brad, where we grew up.
Yeah, I know.
Like a lot of people like Garce and Drew. I don't want to name full people's names because I don't want to.
That's fine.
Yeah, they're out in California.
But a lot of them were like, "Yeah, that sounds fucking awesome, man." But like, I'm either not going to be there or I just can't make it work that day. But that would be a fun day if we could set up a flag football game and we had like all you would need is like 5-on-5. We could make it work with 5-on-5.
That might be more Christmas. I feel like it's kind of tough with Thanksgiving.
I would do it Christmas too.
Everybody's definitely more in town then because it's kind of, I don't know. Feels like it's came fast this year, Thanksgiving. And maybe it's just football's flying by, so.
Oh, this year sucks because I know football is flying by and March is going to be a different kind of month.
3 good matchups though, right? Thursday?
Well, before it's too late, I was going to say, Brad, let's put together a good Thanksgiving parlay here. The 3 games, we have
under on the first 2 and the over on the third.
You got, I'm at the wrong week. I'm sorry.
Under 46.5 in Lions, Packers, under 48.5 in Commies, Cowboys, and then over 43.5 in Niners, Seahawks. Because it's in Seattle.
I wonder what going with the 3 favorites gets you. You just go Lions beat Packers, luck with
that, right?
Cowboys beat Commies, 49ers beat Seahawks. You probably don't get good odds because that's kind of a shitty slate. That's kind of a shitty slate. Damn.
It is.
Do you think any of these will be blowouts though? Right.
The best is the Stuttering John. So shout out WATP. Shout out the Shuli Show because they are doing on Thanksgiving, my birthday. They don't want to do a show, I don't think. So it's just marathons, the whole day of them ripping on Stuttering John, which will be great content.
Check it out.
Watch this. Watch that because they can introduce you to why he sucks and why the world should hate him. And no views, hashtag no super chats for John, hashtag loser.
Fuck Stuttering John.
Fuck Stuttering John.
It's my birthday. Fuck Stuttering John, man. I'll tell you though, if you could talk about holidays, we got 4 minutes here. Or 4 and a half.
We got time.
Yeah.
Holidays for a birthday. Thanksgiving has to be among the best. I get that it's close to Christmas, like when I was young, but you also always have to see your family. So they're going to give you a gift because they feel like a dickhead if they're not, because they're like, oh, last Tuesday was Jimmy's birthday. So is there any other better?
Like what better time of the year to have a birthday?
Right. Like what?
Because you probably see more family members near your birthday than you typically would, right?
Boom. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because only other 2 I was thinking was Labor Day or Memorial Day. Kind of pool holidays that you probably typically see family.
Summer birthdays
suck.
Sounds good.
Christmas would suck.
Christmas would not be cool. I wouldn't.
Because you're already roped into so many days of family, right? With that,
right. Like, by that point, you're like, all right.
And then Thanksgiving, it's one and done.
If you look at my birthday, January 29th, the only good thing about it is it used to be Super Bowl week, but now the teams need a bye week to prepare for the Super Bowl. So my birthday is no longer coincides with the Super Bowl.
It was on the
bye week.
So now I'm stuck with this birthday where my parents, when I was a kid, I don't give a shit about it anymore. But when I was a kid, my parents were like, well, we gave him all this shit for Christmas. He doesn't need to get that much for his birthday. We just gave him shit a month ago.
Exactly.
So
you're like right after, like, dude, I love it.
My dad's going to be listening to this and be like, you piece of shit, you greedy bastard.
That's bullshit, Matt.
You got plenty for your birthday every
year. The basketball game, dude, the fucking, the bowling alley for Mike. I think that was set.
Dude, our basement growing up was fucking decked out. We had that little arcade basketball short shot machine. We had a mini pool table. We had a bowling alley on carpet.
I remember Mike throwing.
It was
the pool
Mike's
cues
bowling,
at us.
Yeah, my brother would lose a game of pool, or maybe he wouldn't even lose in pool. Maybe he lost in another game, but he would go to the pool cue and javelin toss it through the drywall, and it would stick there. You ever see it stick in the wall?
I remember, yeah,
and just stay there.
Showing up, there'd be like little white holes in the wall, and they'd be like, "Mike's bowling, and we're not letting Jimmy go down there until they wouldn't." When it would come over there to your house, dude, they would make us sit in there and watch the movie until he was done with his
basement bowling,
whatever, basement bowling.
Because
we then he'd be like, "Okay, we can go down now," and we'd be like, "How'd you throw him, Mike?" Just fucking with them.
That's awesome,
dude. It was so fucked. But so food, you were saying turkey.
We have the turkey, we have the stuffing, we got the taters,
potatoes,
green bean casserole was mentioned. Mac and cheese? Brad said.
Oh, do you guys do
staple.
appetizers? Thanksgiving? Do you do any apps?
No, I mean other than like maybe some French onion dip or something. French onion dip and carrots or something.
We have deviled eggs a lot of times.
Oh, deviled eggs!
A couple like shrimp.
Yeah, Jimmy's always called them doubled eggs. I know we've had this talk before. The doubled eggs.
Oh yeah.
No, they're double.
Everybody knows what we're talking
about.
You
take one egg, you make it two. It's double because it's in half, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
What's something underrated you could do at Thanksgiving? Like, what if you were at a big Thanksgiving, like you have a big family and you're doing a meetup, you got to bring something. What if you showed up with a bucket of fried chicken? You think
I like it.
That's good? Brad's like, I'm in. Yeah, Brad, I saw the light in your eyes, Brad. You're like,
fried turkey.
Fried
else?
Fried turkey.
I think bringing anything different in, like
tacos would be good.
To one of ours, a lady brought oyster
turkey
stuffing.
tacos.
Buffalo chicken dip is something I would say I would like to be there.
I hate
that. Would kind of wake up the taste buds.
Overrated.
Not a lot, just like 3-4 bites.
I just love buffalo chicken.
We're under a minute. I want to call right here. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Birthday before I'm married. I
didn't know about this song.
Happy holidays. All right.
Happy holidays.
Hey, we'll see y'all after the fucking Thanksgiving weekend. Like Christmas.
Please hit